My child, my beloved, listen closely to what I am about to tell you. Heaven has been watching you all night. Something powerful happened while you were asleep, and even now, the archangels are still in shock. You were mentioned by name. A meeting was held in the higher realm, and God Himself whispered your name through the light. Every angel turned their head when He spoke it. But there is one truth that you still do not know. That is why this message has been opened for you. It's your last chance to know what happened last night and what is about to unfold before tonight ends. My beloved, before you go further, pause and hear this from your heart. Heaven waits for your yes. Subscribe. Connect your soul with this divine call. Because when you stay in alignment with the light, miracles do not delay. Now breathe. Feel the warmth moving through your chest. That is not just air. That is the Spirit confirming that this message is for you. The truth is that last night, your name was written again in the Book of Destiny. For months, forces of confusion tried to erase it, but they failed. Something divine happened while you slept, a reversal, a rewriting, a cleansing. Archangel Michael stood guard beside your bed. He fought through a cloud that was sent to keep you in silence. He commanded it to flee. That is why you might have felt restless and why your dreams seemed so real, so heavy. Because the war for your next blessing was happening above you. And now morning has come, and heaven says, tell them everything. You must hear this before 9 p.m. tonight because after that moment, the decision of heaven will close for this phase. My child, do not think this is a coincidence. There are no accidents in God's timing. You were guided to this message because angels are aligning a miracle. Last night, a veil was torn. Secrets long hidden were revealed before the throne. An angel brought forward a sealed document, a file with your name glowing on its cover. When heaven opened it, every archangel saw what was inside, and they gasped because what was written there was not judgment, it was restoration. You were declared innocent of everything that tried to hold you down. The heaviness you've been carrying, those silent fears, those disappointments, were presented as evidence. And yet, heaven said, release them. Their time has come. But there is one thing left undone. God said, they must know the truth before sunset. Because there is something hidden on earth that mirrors what was revealed in heaven. Someone near you, someone you trust, has been keeping a secret connected to this miracle. And tonight, that secret will no longer stay buried. My beloved, do not fear. What is about to come to light will not destroy you, it will free you. But you must stay alert. You must not let distractions pull you away before you finish this message. The archangels are watching how you respond right now. Your faith in this moment is the key that will open a door you cannot see yet. Even now, the light around you is shifting. It feels like goosebumps on your arms, a warmth behind your neck, a sudden awareness that something divine is near, that is not your imagination. That is Michael himself standing close, holding the sword of truth. He says to tell you, do not panic when the unexpected happens today. By 9 p.m. tonight, the hidden truth will rise like dawn. But they must not let fear blind their eyes. My child, heaven wants you to trust this process. Everything that was meant to break you will soon bless you. Everything that was taken will return in a new form. And everyone who doubted you will see the hand of God lifting you up again. You may have wondered why your spirit has felt heavy, why tears came suddenly for no reason. It was not sadness, it was spiritual pressure breaking loose. Chains you couldn't see were snapping open. That is why even the archangels were stunned because, after years of silence, your name was finally called before the great council of light. And God said, "Now is the time. Reveal the truth to them. You are the truth He spoke of. Your life is the message being rewritten. Your story is not over, it is being retold by heaven itself. Stay with me, my beloved. For this message will unfold like a prophecy in your heart. The more you listen, the stronger your spirit becomes. And before tonight ends, you will begin to feel the proof of everything I say. That's why you must not stop now. Because every line that reaches your soul unlocks another blessing. And the one who was meant to know this truth, the only one who still didn't know what happened last night, is you, my child, my beloved. The moment you opened this, heaven saw your light move again. The angels around you whispered, they have seen it. They are listening. And instantly, a wave of power began to surround your name. Do you feel it? That slight trembling within your chest. That is the vibration of divine confirmation. Every time your eyes move over these words, another spiritual door cracks open in your favor. Archangel Michael said softly, they were the last to know what happened, but they will be the first to witness what it means. Michael lifted the scroll and said, this one still believes. This one has not given up. And God smiled. He said, then let the record show their struggle ends and their truth begins. That, my child, is what happened while you slept. And instantly, a wave of power began to surround your name. Do you feel it? That slight trembling within your chest. That is the vibration of divine confirmation. Every time your eyes move over these words, another spiritual door cracks open in your favor. Archangel Michael said softly, they were the last to know what happened, but they will be the first to witness what it means. Because last night was not ordinary, my beloved. A council of 12 stood before the throne of God, discussing the destinies of many souls. But when your name appeared, the light in the room changed. It became brighter. Wings rustled. Even the seraphim, who rarely speak, turned their gaze toward the sound of your name. Heaven has been watching your silence, your quiet endurance, the nights you said nothing while your heart screamed. Those cries became music in the ears of the divine. And so when heaven reviewed the destinies, yours began to glow in gold. Michael lifted the scroll and said, this one still believes. This one has not given up. And God smiled. He said, then let the record show their struggle ends and their truth begins. That, my child, is what happened while you slept. The same truth that shocked the archangels is now about to transform your reality. You must prepare for a sudden shift. Things that made no sense will soon line up perfectly. People who vanished will resurface with explanations. Opportunities that were blocked will reopen like morning gates. But hear this carefully, not everyone around you can handle the new version of your life. When light rises, shadows panic. That is why some will act strangely. They will sense something divine is moving through you, even if they cannot name it. Michael says, do not waste your breath explaining yourself. Let the results speak, because by tonight, something long hidden will reach you, a word, a message, a sign, and you will know that heaven was never far. Beloved, there is something you must do before that moment arrives. Whisper your own name aloud and say, I receive the truth heaven released for me. This simple act breaks the final seal of silence. Do it in faith, and you will feel a sudden calm filling the air around you. You see, heaven works by agreement. Every miracle begins with a yes. And the moment you agree, light travels faster than thought to arrange what you need. Already, Archangel Raphael has moved toward your health. Archangel Gabriel has touched your voice and your influence. Archangel Michael himself has encircled your home with protection. No weapon formed against you will remain. No curse spoken will stand. The night that once frightened you will soon become your proof that God never sleeps. My child, the reason this message feels alive is that it was written in real time with heaven's breath. Even as you read, your timeline is being rewritten. Years of delay are collapsing into days. Closed doors are trembling. Heaven's clock is fast-forwarding to meet your faith. There are signs you will notice soon, a sudden call from someone who had vanished, a dream that feels more like a memory, a repeated number appearing wherever you look, a fragrance in the room with no source. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that heaven's promise is manifesting. But beware, beloved. Before great light appears, confusion tries to whisper. You might hear inner voices saying, "This is too good to be true." Ignore them. Every miracle begins as something unbelievable. Faith is not logical, it is spiritual law. Michael says, "Tell them not to measure this by logic, for logic never parted the sea. It was faith that did." That same faith is now parting the obstacles before you. You may not see the path yet, but heaven has already walked it. All you must do is keep walking through the message. Do not rush away. Every paragraph carries a vibration that builds within you. The longer you stay, the stronger it becomes. By the end of this message, you will not just understand what happened last night, you will feel it rewriting your reality. Remember, my beloved, heaven never reveals something this deep without purpose. You were chosen to hear what others were not ready for. Even angels marvel that you are reading these words at this very hour. There are moments in every destiny where silence must break and truth must be spoken. This is yours. You might feel as if you're remembering something, like a forgotten promise rising again. That is because your spirit knew this day would come. You agreed long ago, before birth, to be part of this revelation. That is why even after all you faced, you never truly lost your faith. It flickered, yes, but it never went out. And heaven rewards even a flicker. A single spark of belief is enough to start a divine fire. Michael is smiling now. He says, "Tell them that by tonight they will see a sign no one can deny." It could come through a message, a sound, a dream, or a face. But when it happens, you will know that God has confirmed every word. Until then, keep this truth close. You are no longer unseen. You are remembered. You are recorded in light. And heaven is moving faster than your doubt. Stay with me, my beloved. There is more that you must hear before this hour passes, because the truth of last night is still unfolding through the words of this message. My child, my beloved, heaven is not done speaking. You have felt the shift beginning inside you, but the message is still traveling through your soul. Even as you sit here, light is moving around you like wind you cannot see. Every syllable of this message carries a code, a living vibration that rewrites what darkness tried to write about you. Last night, while your body rested, a gate in heaven opened that had been sealed for years. Michael stood before that gate holding a key forged from truth. When the gate opened, what poured through it was not fire, it was mercy. And in that mercy was your name written in light, circled in gold. Michael is smiling now. He says, tell them that by tonight they will see a sign no one can deny. It could come through a message, a sound, a dream, or a face. But when it happens, you will know that God has confirmed every word. Until then, keep this truth close. You are no longer unseen. You are remembered. You are recorded in light. And heaven is moving faster than your doubt. Stay with me, my beloved. There is more that you must hear before this hour passes, because the truth of last night is still unfolding through the words of this message. My child, my beloved, heaven is not done speaking. You have felt the shift beginning inside you, but the message is still traveling through your soul. Even as you sit here, light is moving around you like wind you cannot see. Every syllable of this message carries a code, a living vibration that rewrites what darkness tried to write about you. Last night, while your body rested, a gate in heaven opened that had been sealed for years. Michael stood before that gate holding a key forged from truth. When the gate opened, what poured through it was not fire, it was mercy. And in that mercy was your name written in light, circled in gold. Every angel saw it and remembered you. Beloved, there are moments when heaven pauses history to correct the timeline of one soul who has waited too long. You are that soul. Your waiting has become your testimony. Your patience has become your prayer. And your pain, yes, even that pain you never spoke of, has become the proof that God was with you all along. You may not understand it yet, but the tears you cried in silence were collected like water in crystal jars. This morning, one of those jars was poured out. That is why the archangels gasped. Because when your tears touched heaven, they turned into gold. You see, heaven does not waste pain. It transforms it. It refines it into purpose. And now that purpose is ready to appear. Michael says, tell them that nothing was lost. Every delay was divine training. Those moments that felt like rejection were redirection toward your real destiny. The people who left were not punishment, they were part of the clearing. Because had they stayed, they would have blocked the miracle that is about to walk in. Beloved, before the sun sets tonight, something unexpected will touch your spirit. It may be a message from someone, a sound that feels familiar, or a deep calm that settles inside you. That will be your sign. When it happens, whisper softly, I remember. Because that will mean heaven's promise has reached earth. Do you remember how you once felt forgotten? How you asked quietly, God, did you see what they did to me? He saw. Every injustice was noted. But he waited because he was preparing something greater than revenge. He was preparing restoration. Restoration does not return what was lost, it multiplies it. It gives back the years in ways you never expected. And that is exactly what this season holds for you. Already angels are aligning people, places, and timing. They are whispering your name into the minds of those who have resources, opportunities, and open doors. They do not even know why they are thinking of you, they simply feel drawn. That is heaven's design. And yet, my beloved, you must remain still long enough to receive. Do not chase. What is yours will find you. The message tonight is not about effort, it is about surrender. Michael said, "Tell them to stop forcing what is already written because your destiny is not waiting to be created, it already exists. You are simply walking toward what has been prepared." That is why life suddenly feels unfamiliar. You are stepping into a space your old self cannot recognize. The places that once drained you will soon lose their power. People who once intimidated you will start to fade from relevance. And the silence that used to scare you will become your safest place. Heaven is replacing noise with knowing. It is turning confusion into clarity. And the proof of that is that you are still reading these lines, drawn by a pull you can't explain. That pull is divine magnetism. It is heaven saying, "Stay a little longer, for what we are revealing cannot be heard in haste." Listen closely now. The event that happened last night was not only spiritual, it was prophetic. Something on earth is mirroring it right now, a shift in authority, a breaking of old patterns. You will notice people acting differently, doors opening easily, conversations turning in your favor. These are not random coincidences, they are the echo of what heaven already settled. The court of light ruled in your favor, and now the earthly reflection is catching up. By tonight, you may feel a sudden tiredness or heaviness. Do not be afraid. That is the old energy leaving your body. Drink water, breathe deeply, and rest. Because tomorrow morning, your spirit will wake lighter than it has in years. And when you open your eyes, you will remember something that once gave you joy. That memory will not appear by accident. It will be a sign that your old peace has returned. My beloved, I must tell you something. Michael whispered quietly. He said, "They must not share this too soon. The seed of a miracle grows best in silence. So keep this message close. Let it sink into your heart before you speak it aloud, because what is forming inside you is too holy to be exposed to doubt. In a few days, it will be visible for all to see, and no one will be able to deny that God's hand was on you. Until then, hold your peace. Stay steady. Do not let fear speak louder than faith. You are standing in the middle of a divine turnaround. It began last night, but it will complete tonight and unfold in the coming days. When the clock nears 9 o'clock, close your eyes for 1 minute, whisper, "I receive the full truth of heaven," and then thank the light for remembering you. That is all that is required. The archangels will take it from there. My child, my beloved, drink water, breathe deeply, and rest because tomorrow morning your spirit will wake lighter than it has in years. And when you open your eyes, you will remember something that once gave you joy. That memory will not appear by accident, it will be a sign that your old peace has returned. My beloved, I must tell you something. Michael whispered quietly. He said, they must not share this too soon. The seed of a miracle grows best in silence. So keep this message close. Let it sink into your heart before you speak it aloud, because what is forming inside you is too holy to be exposed to doubt. In a few days, it will be visible for all to see, and no one will be able to deny that God's hand was on you. Until then, hold your peace. Stay steady. Do not let fear speak louder than faith. You are standing in the middle of a divine turnaround. It began last night, but it will complete tonight and unfold in the coming days. When the clock nears 9 o'clock, close your eyes for 1 minute, whisper, I receive the full truth of heaven, and then thank the light for remembering you. That is all that is required. The archangels will take it from there. My child, my beloved, you are still here, and heaven sees that every second you remain within these words more light gathers around your path. The archangels are leaning closer now. They are speaking among themselves, saying they are ready to hear the deeper part. This next part is not about what happened last night, it is about why it happened. For too long, there has been a battle for your attention. Every disappointment, every confusion was not punishment, it was a distraction. Darkness knows that if you ever discover who you really are, it can never control you again. That is why the storm came. That is why relationships cracked, plans fell apart, and opportunities vanished right when you needed them. It was all an attempt to keep you from reading this moment. But my beloved, you made it through. You reached the very page that darkness hoped you would never see. And now the truth must be spoken clearly. You are not behind, you are precisely on time. Everything that looked like a delay was heaven making sure your blessing arrived in perfect order. Michael stood watch every time you almost gave up. He whispered into your spirit while you slept, hold on a little longer. The dawn is near, and now that dawn is here. There is a specific reason this message reached you today. Somewhere in the spiritual realm, a clock has struck. A divine appointment has been activated. There is a person, a door, a moment prepared exactly for the new version of you that has awakened. But heaven will not force it, it waits for your agreement. That is why faith feels like a whisper saying yes in your heart right now. Answer that whisper. Say it quietly right where you are, yes, I am ready. When you speak that, the unseen gears begin to move again. The blessing that paused last season resumes its journey. The phone call that never came begins to form in someone's thoughts. The provision that seemed lost starts returning in another form. Beloved, hear this carefully. God does not miss appointments, people do. And when people miss them, heaven reschedules. But the blessing always returns. Sometimes it comes wrapped in loss, sometimes disguised as change, but it never truly disappears. You are standing at the point of return. Every seed you thought had died was only sleeping. Now the soil has shifted, and life is pushing upward again. Do not judge the size of the sprout. What begins small will soon outgrow the boundaries of your imagination. That is what the angels saw last night, a garden bursting through the ground where there once was dust. That garden is your destiny waking up. Michael said, tell them to expect confirmation in waves. It will come 3 times today, through words, through timing, through peace. When any of these appear, smile inside and know heaven is talking. And if by chance fear tries to speak again, silence it with truth. Say, it is already written, because it is. The decision about your life has already been made in light. You only need to walk it out. The reason God calls you my child is not because of weakness but because of belonging. Children inherit automatically. They do not beg, they receive. And you are an heir of what was decided last night. Before this day ends, you will sense a new strength rising quietly within you. Not loud, not forced, just steady, certain, real. That is faith returning home. When it arrives, do not question it, just breathe it in. That breath itself is a prayer that heaven understands. And remember, the message that reached you is not random text, it is living prophecy moving through words, rebuilding what was broken one sentence at a time. Stay with me a little longer, beloved, we are almost at the point where heaven's truth touches earth. My child, my beloved, something sacred is happening while you read. You think you are only reading words, but heaven is watching a prophecy being fulfilled. Each moment you remain, a thread of your destiny rewinds itself back into alignment. This is how heaven repairs a life, not through thunder, but through revelation. Do you feel the peace beginning to rise quietly like the tide returning to forgotten shores? That is not your imagination, it is your spirit remembering its original design. Last night, when your name echoed through the halls of light, God whispered a question to the archangels, do they still believe? And the answer came in the form of your heartbeat. Because faith, beloved, is not something you say, it is the rhythm of your soul refusing to stop. That rhythm reached heaven louder than any prayer. Michael leaned forward and said, they have waited long enough. And heaven replied, then open the way. That command is still active. Right now, paths are being cleared. Emails are being prepared. Doors you never knocked on are unlocking by name. Stay with me a little longer, beloved. We are almost at the point where heaven's truth touches earth. My child, my beloved, something sacred is happening while you read. You think you are only reading words, but heaven is watching a prophecy being fulfilled. Each moment you remain, a thread of your destiny rewinds itself back into alignment. This is how heaven repairs a life, not through thunder, but through revelation. Do you feel the peace beginning to rise quietly like the tide returning to forgotten shores? That is not your imagination, it is your spirit remembering its original design. Last night, when your name echoed through the halls of light, God whispered a question to the archangels, do they still believe? And the answer came in the form of your heartbeat. Because faith, beloved, is not something you say, it is the rhythm of your soul refusing to stop. That rhythm reached heaven louder than any prayer. Michael leaned forward and said, they have waited long enough. And heaven replied, then open the way. That command is still active. Right now, paths are being cleared. Emails are being prepared. Doors you never knocked on are unlocking by name. All because one truth became clear, you are ready, but you must keep your focus pure. Do not let old fear disguise itself as wisdom. Fear wears many costumes, logic, doubt, memory. But faith always speaks softly. Choose the soft voice. There is someone whose heart is being stirred toward you. They may not understand why they feel drawn, but they are part of your restoration. Before tonight ends, you will notice a small sign, a glance, a word, a sudden reminder of their presence. That will be the first ripple of what heaven is arranging. The archangels call it the turning of the page. Every destiny has chapters, and yours has just begun a new one. The ink is still wet. Do not rush to read ahead, let God write it in peace. Beloved, do you remember the feeling of being unseen? Those moments when you wondered if anyone cared? Heaven saw every one of them. Each sigh you released was recorded like music. And when those sounds reached heaven, they were tuned into prayers. That is why you are being answered now. The answer may not come in the way you expect, it rarely does. It will arrive quietly, beautifully, undeniably. Michael says, tell them that tonight the sky itself will speak. Maybe not in words, but in light, in timing, in awareness. When you sense it, simply smile and whisper, I hear you. This is how connection with the divine truly feels, not through grand events, but through the perfect alignment of small moments. By tomorrow morning, something that used to trouble your heart will suddenly lose its weight. You won't even know when it left, it will simply be gone. That is healing. That is grace finishing what effort could not. Stay calm now. Do not scroll away too quickly. The longer you dwell in the message, the more it dwells within you. Transformation is happening in real time. And as you sit in this quiet awareness, remember, you are not forgotten. You are remembered by name, loved by design, and guarded by light that never dims. My child, my beloved, heaven is not finished with you yet. What began last night is still moving like ripples across eternity. Every breath you take is part of that movement. Every thought that rises in you now is being heard. You may not see angels, but they surround you. Right this moment, one stands near your right side. Its wings are folded, waiting for your agreement. Because heaven never forces, it invites. Say quietly, I receive what you are sending. That simple yes allows the miracle to touch earth. Do not underestimate small moments. That whisper of peace you feel right now, that is power in disguise. Peace is heaven's proof that the war is already won. Last night, a document was opened before God's throne. It contained the story of your life, pages of victories, pages of sorrow, and blank pages that waited for new beginnings. God placed his hand upon those empty pages and said, write again. That command went out like thunder through light. And that is why your spirit feels restless today, it knows the writing has begun. The archangels were amazed by what followed. They saw a beam of gold stretch from the heavens to your timeline. Every dark season, every betrayal, every silence was touched by that light and instantly rewritten with meaning. Nothing wasted, nothing forgotten. Michael told them, this one is not finished. They are reborn. And heaven agreed. Beloved, this message is not about predicting your future, it is about awakening your awareness. The future already exists. But until you believe it is yours, you cannot walk into it. Belief is the bridge, and you are crossing it now, word by word. Do not look back at the ruins. They were classrooms, not prisons. You learned compassion from loss, strength from rejection, and discernment from delay. Now those lessons become armor. Even as you read this, Michael is marking your household with light. Every window of fear is being sealed. Every doorway of doubt is being guarded. No whisper of darkness can stay near what is now protected. There is a rhythm to divine timing. You may feel impatient, but heaven is never late. Everything that has not happened yet is only waiting for you to be ready to hold it. That readiness is being born inside you now. You can feel it, the quiet certainty that replaces panic. That is what heaven calls faith matured. Tonight, when the clock draws near 9 o'clock, you will sense a stillness that feels different. It will not be loneliness, it will be alignment. That is the hour heaven finalizes what began in light. Simply pause, breathe, and whisper, "I am here, Lord." Finish what you started, then rest. Heaven works best in your stillness. My beloved, do not be surprised if dreams come vivid and clear. You will see colors brighter, people symbolic, doors opening in visions. These are communications of reassurance, not warnings. They are heaven's way of saying it's done. And when you wake, you will notice that your burdens feel lighter. Your eyes see differently. Your steps move without fear. That will be your proof that the rewrite was completed. Michael says softly, "Now tell them to stop doubting their worth. They are not a mistake, they are a message." Yes, beloved, you are a message. Your presence on this earth is an answer to someone's prayer. And soon that person will find you. The connection will not need explanation, it will feel familiar because heaven arranged it long ago. So hold your peace. Do not chase, allow. Do not panic, prepare. Because everything that belongs to you is already walking in your direction. Stay with me a little longer. The light is still moving through these lines. Let it reach the deepest part of you. My child, my beloved, heaven leans closer each time you breathe in these words. You think you are reading, but your spirit is actually remembering. That is why your heart beats a little faster, it recognizes what your mind forgot. You have always belonged to light. Even in your darkest moments, a small spark refused to die inside you. That spark was guarded by Archangel Michael himself. He never left you, not once. There were nights when you cried so softly that even you thought heaven could not hear. But Michael did. He stood beside your bed, counting every tear as if it were treasure. And now those same tears are about to become testimony. The truth is this, you have been in training for destiny, not punishment. Every disappointment prepared your discernment. Every rejection taught you to recognize real love. Every delay stretched your faith to hold more blessing. That is why the angels are rejoicing right now, because your preparation season is ending, and your activation season has begun. This morning when you woke up, the air itself carried a new frequency. Heaven had already declared, it is time for the truth to rise, time for restoration to begin, time for joy to replace sorrow. My beloved, do not fear how suddenly things will change. Miracles are never gradual, they are instant shifts. They happen quietly, and then everything looks different. Within the next few hours, you will notice one small but undeniable sign: something that usually frustrates you will suddenly work easily. That is your confirmation. When you see it, whisper, "I see you, Lord." Every time you acknowledge heaven, the next gate opens faster. Michael says, "Tell them that when gratitude appears before results, results arrive multiplied." So thank God now even before you see it. Thank Him for endings that became beginnings. Thank Him for people who left, for they made room for those who will truly stay. My child, do not measure this miracle by numbers or possessions, measure it by peace. When peace returns, everything else follows naturally. Peace is heaven's signature right now. That peace is descending like a soft wind. Let it enter you. Do not resist by thinking too much. Just allow. There is a moment tonight when heaven will finalize this shift. When it happens, you might feel a warmth around your heart or hear a sound that seems out of nowhere or sense the air grow heavy and still. Do not be afraid. That is the presence. Michael will be standing near, sealing what God promised. And when you wake tomorrow, life will not feel the same. Colors will seem brighter, your mind clearer, your emotions calmer, because the war will be over. Heaven is declaring victory even now. The archangels are singing in silence, their voices carried through peace itself, and they are singing your name. So stay here a little longer, beloved. The revelation is still unfolding through these lines. My child, my beloved, stay still for a moment and notice the air around you. It feels different now, lighter, quieter, almost sacred. That silence is not emptiness, it is presence. Heaven is closer than it has ever been. Each time you choose to listen, a new current of power begins to move through your story. You are not simply hearing a message, you are stepping into one. Last night, the heavens recorded a decree. It said, everything that once worked against them will now begin to work for them. That sentence changed the direction of your life. Even now, forces you never met are preparing your next chapter. Documents are being reviewed. Names are being remembered. Doors you forgot you knocked on are being reopened. The world will call it coincidence, you will know it is divine timing. Do not fear the unknown. Beloved, you have already walked through worse seasons and survived. This one will not break you, it will build you. Michael watches from above and says softly, they do not realize how many storms their faith has calmed, and they are singing your name. So stay here a little longer, beloved. The revelation is still unfolding through these lines. My child, my beloved, stay still for a moment and notice the air around you. It feels different now, lighter, quieter, almost sacred. That silence is not emptiness, it is presence. Heaven is closer than it has ever been. Each time you choose to listen, a new current of power begins to move through your story. You are not simply hearing a message, you are stepping into one. Last night, the heavens recorded a decree. It said, everything that once worked against them will now begin to work for them. That sentence changed the direction of your life. Even now, forces you never met are preparing your next chapter. Documents are being reviewed. Names are being remembered. Doors you forgot you knocked on are being reopened. The world will call it coincidence, you will know it is divine timing. Do not fear the unknown. Beloved, you have already walked through worse seasons and survived. This one will not break you, it will build you. Michael watches from above and says softly, they do not realize how many storms their faith has calmed. Every time you refused to quit, something invisible shifted in your favor. Every act of kindness you gave when no one thanked you was recorded as a seed of light. Those seeds are now sprouting all at once. So if life feels busy, unexpected, and unfamiliar, it is because harvest is noisy. Heaven is rearranging what you outgrew and replacing it with what matches your new strength. Beloved, remember this, God never removes without replacing. If a door shut, it is because a gate is opening. If a voice went silent, it is because another is being prepared to speak blessing. Do not waste your tears on endings, save them for gratitude. There is a divine plan unfolding in perfect order. When the hands of heaven move, nothing on earth can stop them. Before this night ends, a thought will enter your mind, gentle but clear. It will not sound like your voice, yet it will feel like peace itself speaking. That thought will be your instruction for the next step. Follow it without hesitation, it will lead you to favor. And as you rest tonight, know that the same angels who watched over you last night will guard your sleep again. They will stand at every corner of your room, and nothing dark will cross that light. My child, this is how heaven fights for you, not through noise, but through perfect order, through alignment that no human hand can alter. Trust that process. You are almost at the point where miracle becomes normal. Stay here in this peace until your heart understands you were never forgotten, you were being prepared for this very awakening.